Good morning, people. This is No Good Do Gooder, and I am Kiasha, Kiki, Buddha. It's like 1:45 in the morning on November. Whoa, excuse me, the 11th of 2025. The 1111 portal, or you can say 911 backwards. Okay, so I made a video on Monday about 7 something. I went live, and I did not plug up my phone, so my phone died. And when that happened, it cut the live, right? So I was thinking that the live would still be in my thing, and I looked and it wasn't there. So I had a lot of good information in it. Maybe some of the people that were on it, they recorded it or something. I don't know. But that lets me know that I need to just make the video like pre-record or something and then upload it like that. I can't sleep at the moment, and it's not that I can't go to sleep. It's like my body is weird. I was tired earlier, and then I kind of pushed through it, and I'm tired now, but something is staring in my pot, And I wanted to put some of the information on what I was talking about in the live, since it's not there. And you have to excuse me. I don't do all the other stuff that a lot of people do. I'm not getting ready. I'm not setting us what is it? Propping up a stage or something. I don't have music, and I blah 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 blah. It's just me, Kiki, Buddha. Okay. Someone very powerful was I don't know, interested in my like DNA or whatever, and I was listening to a tarot reading, and I can tell when it's like for me, but I was listening to the tarot reader, and she was saying like, they think you're an animal, like you're not human, and you have instincts like an animal, not like a bad animal, but it's like the instincts of the survival, but the thrive and the calm and the stillness, or the hunt, or the detection of the bullshit, which I told people years and change ago. Bullshit detector, I got it, And some people don't think that I'm like heavenly sent or divine or whatever, because I got a potty mouth. However, my disclosure on my potty mouth is this: I would rather cuss you out than to beat your ass. Or I'd rather cuss you out than to do what people have been doing to me, a fucking death spell, or set up a plot of revenge, or planned, I don't know, 20 spiritual attacks or some dumbass shit, something crazy. But I'll cuss your ass out. Fuck it. At least you know where I stand, and I know where you stand by your response or by whatever you said at the beginning. Doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't. You get what I'm trying to say with that. But anyway, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I'm not an animal. It's just that I have all the clairs and things. And not everything is back online yet, because people are still kind of fucking with me a little bit. But it's one of those things where it's like, when one isn't open like an avenue, others are open to me. It's kind of like if you were actually blind, all your other senses are heightened. Or if you were actually deaf, all your other senses are heightened. It's kind of like my spiritual eye could have been open all my life. But when people want to permanently shut it and close it, then my spiritual eye became other parts of me. And I'll repeat what someone said. It's like she has eyes on her heart. And they're like, how do you compete? Or how do you like deal with or go against someone that has eyes on your heart? It's kind of like you don't. You shouldn't even be in competition with me anyway. There's like no competition because I don't look at competition. I look at myself. I'm in competition with me. I don't even know some of these other bitches. And the ones I do know, I don't fuck with them. So it's like, what you doing? But people have been in this secret competition with me practically like all my life. Multiple lifetimes, different people, 22 lifetimes, holding grudges and all that kind of stuff. And the animal part was in reference to like, I'm kin to Anubis. I'm kin to Thoth. I hold the keys, of Atlantis, and I have the codes of the universe and stuff like that, all within my vessel. Cause I'm from the beginning, so it's like 22 lifetimes of information is within my vessel, and I've been poked on, pried on, picked at, sought after, done in, done up, whatever. Meant to suffer, thrive a little, suffer some more. It's like, people wanted to keep me on whatever this roller coaster was because they felt like they could and they felt like they should, and they just thought like, hey, being hidden was the way to go. However, some of them stepped out of the shadow and came towards my face or whatever, and I could see it, but others were kind of like hiding behind those people or whatever. Okay. I come on here to kind of talk about like I was drawn to like Thoth, Anubis. I can't necessarily say Atlantis. I was curious about Atlantis, so I read up on it a little bit. Lemuria a little bit. Tartaria, the old world, uh, history, and ancestry, not like doing an ancestry check like with ancestry.com, but or something like where my toes come from. Because let me see. I think I can turn it around. I don't know. Let me see. No, I can't. I'll make a quick reference to my toes. All right. I'm sure you can see my feet. Okay. I got my phone pointed directly at them. You can see all them veins in my feet too. Okay. All right. I think I showed y'all. If I didn't, then it's like, okay, there you go. Anywho, I realized because I'm a detail-oriented person, curious person, and sometimes I just don't. I know how to shut the fuck up, but my brain be just curious, even as a kid. And one foot is literally my mother's foot. The other foot is my father's foot. Okay. And you could say, duh, you got a mom and a daddy. Two people got together and made you. Duh. Of course, you're going to have something that represents both of them. Okay. But what I'm saying is, my foot looks exactly like my dad's toes. Then my other foot looks exactly like my mother's toes. I'm talking about down to the hump or the lump or the mold or the overlapping toe or the veins or the extra hook in the nail. It's like, whoa. you know, very detailed, but also letting me know how strong my lineage is through them. And then what I discovered when I wanted to look up my feet, like on a history level, where do my toes come from? And you're like, you can say to yourself, what the fuck? What you mean where your toes come from? They come from your parents. Before my parents, my toes are a descendant of somewhere. My feet have walked somewhere, just like theirs. Okay? And they do have information on this online. So I looked up, where my feet come from. And I found this thing where it said, like, you can have Egyptian feet, Roman feet, Greek feet, Mediterranean feet, Indian feet, like that. And it was like one of my toes is an Egyptian toe. Not toe, foot. And another foot is a Indian foot, like that. And I was like, wow, that's neat. So then I started like looking at other things on my body. Ears or my eyes or my cheeks or my whatever. And literally the world has done the research on your whole vessel, really. Even though, man, Kemetic people will tell you that they solved every problem in this world. Kemetic or Egyptian people have solved every problem in this world when they were here. And so when they left, they left not problems. They left solutions to every problem. So therefore, it's like we should not have a problem. But as information has been hidden away, it's like when you don't have access to it, you go through a self-discovery phase on the outside of yourself and on the inside of yourself. And I wanted to tell people about, like, okay, how I began to look deeper at myself, because myself was getting attacked so much and I didn't understand it all. Even though God talked to me and talked through my ears, a lot of phrases at one point were like, hey, it's just not your time yet. Or other phrases were, this is what they're trying to do to you. Or this is what's going on, like that. And I started to take it serious because I was getting attacked so much. And I had no other choice but to dig deeper. And I'm not going to say I really didn't have a choice, but my internal clock was on something I want to know, because I got to figure out all the fuck shit. Like, what the fuck is all of this going on? And I would make it through. I would get out of it. I would think through it. I would process it. I would, if I felt emotionally connected to it, I'd cry about it. If I felt like I needed to use more logic behind something, I would do that. And it was like, okay, milestone after milestone, heel after heel. I climbed it. I conquered it. I measured it. I figured it out. And I had a solution for every freaking problem that came my way. Well, darkness didn't like that. The darkness was like, bitch, like, how you just gonna keep getting through all our shit? And I'm like, well, if I keep getting hit with the multiple shit from the same shit all the time, because the devil don't got no new playbook, it's like, oh, okay, gotcha. I know what you're doing when you do this. And it got to a point where instead of me like just writing it down, I remember what I wrote. Remembered how to handle it. Remembered how to diffuse it or channel it, or just pick up where I left off, or pick up and start anew, or pick up and just keep picking up from every letdown, setback that I came across. But I realized it was other links to chains in me that were unresolved issues. So as I learned about my Egyptian and Roman, I am part with the Roman in me too, but the Egyptian, Roman, Indian part, I learned about my galactic parts to myself, like the Atlantean or the Thoth or the Anubis, the Isis, the Ma'at, the Barbalo, like all these are parts of me. And I was connecting all those dots, would help connect different parts of myself to kind of close the gaps in my healing of my body, my vessel. I used other logical things, practical things like how we talk to each other. And if I wanted to be talked to nicely, I would talk to people nicely. And then I would apply me talking nicely to others, to my vessel, to parts of my body that would hurt, because I said, well, maybe my organs don't feel loved by me, and that's why they're attacking me. In reality, it was just a whole lot of black magic being done to one little old person by a whole lot of fucking people that tried to label me as this evil little troll out here scamming the world like a little leprechaun, stealing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And I was like, damn, I know I'm short, but I ain't that damn short, And I was like, shit, if I had the money like that, I wouldn't do that, Or it was something magical about me. Look at my face. Magic comes at a price, okay? Huge price. Like, you want to pick and choose when can you be hurt about some shit. And then it's like when you got the divine all around you, you're going to attract the biggest fucking devils that's almost equal to, the biggest fucking God, And what ends up happening is what's coming against you is spiritual. Even though you can see a physical body, and it could be somebody that you love, your family, your friends, whatever. But you gotta treat it like, damn, all right, I can't look at Susie like my best friend. Susie is a demon right now. Susie got an entity running through her. Susie need that shit pulled out. But what I had learned was I didn't have to, like you see on TV, people perform exorcisms on other folks. I didn't have to do that. It was like my frequency could just pull it out. It was an automatic kind of thing. And I would be like, damn, why such and such is giving me all this hard time and being a bitch? Like, what did I do? All I said was this, so I had to learn. And once I started learning and catching on, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm dealing with here. I know what I'm dealing with there. And then I needed my time to myself. I needed my time to meditate. I needed time to process my day. I found myself being good at a lot of different stuff because I constantly was challenging myself. I was constantly being put in the hospital, and I said, I want to live, but I don't want to live like, nonchalant isn't the word. It's kind of like, you go through your day, you're like, I'm alive. I wanted to understand why I was kept alive, and kept protected, and kept being looked after from unseen forces, from the gods, the angels, my ancestors. And it was like I learned more every time. I learned that, hey, I've been in battles that other people were afraid to even go into. I learned that I'm in a battle now, been in it for a while, didn't know. Then I learned that there are proper ways to fight and there are improper ways to fight. And the key to all the fighting is you don't go out here raging war. You don't go out here to continue the war. And the idea is to stop the war. And I was tasked with the task to stop the war. And I'm like, oh shit. Real spiritual war, And I didn't back down from the challenge. It was kind of like, fuck it. All right, I done been through all this shit anyway. Who gives a damn? Like, that is one more thing. Because I was looking at like, if I don't deal with it, the shit gonna keep coming. It's gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep showing up. It's gonna keep irritating the fuck out of me. And God knew that. And God knew me. God knew I wasn't gonna deal with that. Like, certain shit, God knew I can't stand. And that's why God gave it to me. Because God was like, this motherfucker right here. Oh, she can get rid of all this dumbass shit. Shit, I ain't saying we can dump it all on her damn lap, but what I am saying is that's the one. She gonna eat it, chew it, spit it out, or swallow it. It's gonna come out in her shit, or it's gonna come out of her mouth, and it's gonna be done. We ain't got to worry about it. We gonna help her. She just need a clue here and there, but my goddamn daughter, she got it. She got it. They keep stopping her, and shit, her ass ain't stopping. And God didn't necessarily say it like that to me. When they were online with me, like, continuously for almost 2 years, boy, that was a time for me. And I'm smiling because, and sometimes people get a little upset or jealous. Don't do that when I'm smiling about my experiences, because some people feel like they should have those experiences, and you will, because I'm going to show you how to grow spiritually, but first you gotta get that the tight wad out your ass and discover your freedom of what you want to do with yourself. Meaning, like, after you've been taught by school, college, parents, family, any other groups of societies out here, it's like, what do you want to teach yourself? What do you want to learn about yourself? What do you want to know about yourself? Okay? All right, so the way God had put it to me was like this. Him and Mother God were online with me, talking to me in between my ears, right? God was like, yo, we see the attacks, and you just keep knocking them down, going through it, rising up, just keep getting it. You don't even care if you got 1 lifeline left or 3 lifelines left, or you got 20% of your battery left to your vessel in real fucking time. You still keep going. And even when we intervene, it's like, you still be like, nope, I'm going to find this motherfucker. I'm going to get this motherfucker. He said it got to the point where they said all of the celestial realm was like, we going to get our goddamn popcorn and we going to watch this shit play the fuck out. Okay? Because I had opportunity from Mother God and Father God. They were like, boo boo, let me go and pull you out. And I said, mm-mm, mm-mm. And I remember I was butt ass naked, having a fever of something in that 100 range. And I passed out a couple of times, and it didn't matter. I crawled to the motherfucking bathroom. I got in the tub of cold ass goddamn water, and I was on my deathbed. I didn't give a shit. I was like, I ain't dying without knowing. I don't care how many times I done died before. I said, shit, y'all motherfuckers gonna bring me back so I can see the bitch. So I can see the nigga, whoever it is. Because this ain't gonna keep going. It ain't gonna keep happening to me. It's not going to keep affecting me. And I'm telling you, I've had years of psychological warfare, spiritual warfare, physical warfare, to where it might be a different person, same type of scenario. Certain things might be changed up, but certain things did remain the same. And I would catalog it, understand it, not understand it. Some I would push it aside. Some I'd be like, fuck it, nope, I'm gonna learn it. And it got to a point where I was rebellious. Because I was like, this is not gonna beat me. I don't know who and what this is, but it's not gonna beat me. And even though I knew it was a demon or a devil or an entity or whatever, it was just like, I'm gonna get to know you, you asshole. I'm gonna get to know you. Okay? I'm gonna figure you out. No. And so when I deal with you, I'm gonna deal with you the right way. Like, I'm gonna dispose of you properly. That's how I thought. And I still think like that. And so that's how I was able to get through a lot of it. Like, I didn't let it scar me down. It might have beat me down, but not scar me down. It's kind of like, if I get that beat down, it's like, I'm going to get up. The scars, that inside thing where you can't see it, but you know it's there and it torments you. So I'm like, nah. That's what they thrive off. They like to do the torment and shit. And at first I used to be like, oh, who's following me? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? All the shit is always weird. I don't know another way to put it. And I came across a whole lot of motherfucking weirdos. But I'm learning my frequency kind of makes them weird. Because they are so curious to the point where they just cannot contain their curiosity. And so it turns into like creepiness. And I'm like, hey, it's better if you just talk, express yourself, ask your questions, and just don't just stare, Don't just do fucked up shit like spying and divination or all that. Like, I got people cloning my phone. It's like no privacy. None. At one point I had cameras in my house. Neighborhoods watching me. It's like weird. When God came online, meaning the full expression of God, Mother and Father together, with my angels, with my ancestors, all in my vessel, all talking to me. I had people come to my house. And weird people out of nowhere. And they wanted to kill me off. And so it wasn't like it was like one attack. It was like several. Several demonic attacks. And they saw my light though, and they couldn't do it. It's like, no matter the type of demon, they know what they're up against. Some of them just don't believe it. They got to see it. And then I hold a dark and a light. So that kind of fucks with the little demons a little bit. And they're like, can't even get to her. And if you did have access, it's kind of like that got revoked because um, it's like I'm the owner of the light in the dark, you know? And so the dark is like, damn, we gotta listen to this bitch. And I'm like, no, no, no. You don't have to listen to me. Okay? Because I ain't taking your free will from you. I'm not ordering you to be like, go over there and fuck this person. I'm not that kind of person. You know. I'm trying to liberate and free your stupid ass too. Because shit, the only reason why you're a demon, I think, because you just, I ain't gonna say you're not that smart. I just believe that your smartness is under a pile of shit. And you need to climb out the pile. You just don't know how to climb out that bitch. And I'm willing to help you climb out. Like, I don't want your dirty, filthy shit all up in me. You know. Because you know I can hold the dark and the light. You're like, man, that'll be a good vessel to house myself in. Like, hell yeah. I done had that before, too. Where the motherfuckers don't want to get out. And it's like, nah, you're getting the fuck up out of here. But I'd rather help all because the more everyone is educated on how to liberate themselves and not feel ashamed to liberate themselves, okay? I think the world will be a better place. It's not really that hard to do. And I have came across people that literally hate. And hate is a strong word, but they hate growth in other people. That is a demon. I'm talking about after I was in the hospital quite a few times, and I just decided to get a job close by home. And it's about 5 minutes away. I didn't want to go far. I just need to do something to kind of occupy my time or my brain and make a couple of dollars, you know. I didn't know if I wanted to get back out there in the insurance arena or anything yet, because that's where I was working, and I was making about 6 figures in that. But, you know, my other job was about 30 grand a year. And I was cool with it. I loved it. You know, it was methodical. I didn't have to even do much as far as using any brain power. So I was cool. And, but I remember when I wanted to change, meaning all I just wanted to do was go back to selling insurance. And I was prepared and ready to start making those 6 figures again. I had plans in mind, in motion, and I wanted to fulfill those things. I saw people get catty, envious, jealous, talked down to literally putting sugar in my tank in my car and fucking up my vehicles and shit. So I couldn't go to the job and things like it was crazy. And I was like, why? You know? And I knew who was doing the shit. And so I would say, hey, I know you put sugar in my tank. But no, I didn't say that. I would say, hey, if you want to do this same job, I can show you, you know? I can help you pass your test. I can even tell you what to say on the interview. And I can help you get the job. Because it's open to anyone, you know? And they were so hell no. Like, on some evil on 10,000. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? You know, to practically want to disown me. And I just said, fuck it, I'm going to disown your ass because I don't understand why you don't want more money. Just do the math. One job was 150,000 a year. The other 30,000 a year. That's like what? Extra $120,000 and you don't want it? Yeah, your brain's fucked up. Totally obvious. And what's totally obvious in people like that, they're run by not just one, but multiple demons, hundreds of demons. And they don't want them to rise past where they are. They want to keep them just right where they're at. And sometimes you got to understand that. And you just got to move on from people. Because some people want you to fix them. Not the regular way, like how I want to teach you to fix you. I'm talking about where they want to just jump in your bones and say, you know what? I did have a disease, but I don't have it no more. Because you got it. It's like, whoa, no. You're really not my friend if you want to give me something. That's like some real shit. And then it's like they just don't want to accept that. And that's some real shit that you gotta digest also. So I had a lot of adjustable, digestible moments. I had a lot of epiphanies. I had a lot of what the fucks. I had a lot of oh shits. And I had a whole lot of hallelujahs and thank you, Jesus. And I appreciate the ground that I'm walking on. Because I would be hit with all kinds of things. And people look at sometimes when I'm in a situation and I get out of it, that it's so easy. And it's not. I just make it look easy. You know? And that kind of hurts people's little pride and ego and stuff. But I'm not, I don't want this to sound bad, but it's the truth. I can open the Bible and, you know, when they read a verse and I'm just going to pick a commandment, thou shalt not kill, right? Thy means that I am not going to be a killer. I vow not to be a killer. Okay? Now, you can say it and you can actually, how can I, you can think it, meaning you can visualize killing. Okay? So that thou shalt not kill turns into I'm almost a killer because you're thinking it. Even though you haven't said it out loud and you haven't committed a physical action yet. It's kind of like one of those movies where they say, hey, we want to catch the killer before he kills because we already know that he's going to kill this person. And that's from them doing divination and prying and different systems, the way it's hooked up in the movie. But it's a real thing in real life, okay? They already have these things out. It's just that they don't want to tell us that they have them, but they already have these things. And because they already have these things, they're still trying to research on how to use them the proper way because it violates a lot of things. However, I understand the concept of, well, let's prevent the kill from happening from this killer because we know by his or her thinking that they want to definitely do this because your intentions line up with whatever your thought process is, no matter if you say it out your mouth or not. It just lines up. So when that happens, you're changing the trajectory of your life with your thoughts. If you choose not to go down that sinister route by acting out your thoughts, it's like, okay, you can redirect yourself back to your original, like, destiny for yourself. You know? So when these people wanted to, like, throw me under the damn bus to damn near get me fired because I wanted to get a better job, and then they did proceed to do more death magic, more hurt, more kill magic, more sick magic, more all kinds of shit. It's like, whoa, now I know what I'm dealing with. Like, whoa, now I know what your thoughts are. Like, whoa, like, nah, do I still need to be friends with you? I don't think so. Whoa, you're doing this for shits and giggles and games and shit? Damn, you know? So you have to assess the level of low vibration and say, damn, you gonna recognize that we in the pit. That's a pit. That means you in pit of hell or crabs in a barrel, you at the bottom of that bitch. If y'all heard me fart, I am so sorry. But I don't be having time to pause, nothing, do this and do that. It's like, if it overwhelms me, you'll know. My face will change. But I learned the art of detachment. I learned the art of war. I learned the duality of all things. I learned I can't take a lot of things personal. I learned that my feelings have to be placed in safekeeping. Like, what's it? You know, you have the emotion of sadness, right? But it's like before you could process your sadness because you like, oh man, I'm feeling sad, and you cry about it and stuff. But instead of immediately going to the emotion, I'm processing the emotion first. Like, why am I sad? What brought about this sadness? Is this really my sadness that I feel, or is this the sadness of someone else? And that changed how I looked at what sadness would mean to me, because I know what would trigger me into sadness like that. And I realized that these devilish people were trying to control the narrative of my emotions, of my life, of my destiny, of my direction. And I'm like, whoa. You don't realize that people are able to do that by controlling your emotional state of being. Because what happens is, if you have traumatic events, if you have turmoil events, if you have drama all the time, and if you have karmics around you and they're constantly doing things, it splits your consciousness. You know, it makes you doubt even the things that are in front of your face. It keeps you in delusion, illusion, fear, frantic, unstable, unbalanced state of mind, which is a state of being. And then you're having to find yourself trying to crawl out of that hole. In order to do that, you have to regain your consciousness. In order to do that, that means you have to resolve the split. Just like a split personality, borderline personality disorder. You know, it's like, yo, when they put a label on you, they want that label to stay. They feel like that should be your label. And when you start to look at it like this is a problem I need to solve, the label gets removed, you know, because it's your functionality looks at the logic and the practicality of your emotions. And it helps you to understand, like, okay, this is from Susie, or okay, this is because of walking on the wrong side of the bed, or such pissed you off, or I'm thinking about this death right here, or this situation, whatever. And it's like, all right, okay. So you compartmentalize those things. And to others, it could seem like, man, you're moving methodical and strategic. But it's like you're aware of what is fucking with you. Because you can tell if it's other people, because their thoughts come through. It's like, I talk a certain way, but people know how I get. I get frustrated, or I get angry. And let's say if I was one of them people that just want to hop on the divination train, I could say something like, hey, boo-boo, I'm going to use that. If it's something that rolls off my tongue without me thinking about it, I'm going to end up saying it. And you're going to know. You're going to be like, oh, I know who calls me that, And so you're going to know they're talking about you. So it's like you have to process a lot of stuff. Process it not to keep it. Process it to release it. Process it in releasing it by saying, I understand why this is what it is for me, and why I gotta either keep it, understand it, catalog it, and put it on the shelf, or release it, still understanding it, and moving ahead. Neither one of those ways will keep you behind. The way that keeps you behind is when you keep it, your emotions are still attached to it, and you are finding it extremely hard to let go. The key to anything is to let go. Even if you don't want to, you've been there for forever, or you've been friends through all kinds of shit, you're going to realize that, shit, them was your friends putting you through that shit. That means they orchestrated, they put it together because they wanted something to talk about for y'all to keep bonding. And it's like, whoa, you want to put me through a torturous situation so we can bond? Really, bitch? But that's what people do. And that's a part of psychological, spiritual warfare. Is to mess up your mental and for them to pretend like, oh, we don't know what you're talking about. I've always liked all of your decisions. And then you're going to say, well, why the fuck you was mean as hell when I wanted to upgrade my job 6 figures. Like, you supposed to have been happy for me, but you was sad. You was angry. You was upset. It's like your behavior has to match the emotion. And you'll find a lot of times when you pay attention to people that their behavior doesn't match the emotion. And you'll realize, like, that's something else in there, because I literally seen a girl angry as all get out, and it was all staged. And I was like, wow, I'm watching her performance. And I could call her out on this shit, and then she'll come back a minute later, biggest smile on her face, like she understands and like nothing has ever happened. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, you got that that switch, that mask, that illusion, that disorder. But all these things kind of help you along the way spiritually. You don't think so? But when someone doesn't like something about you, they're going to attack a part of your house, a part of your vessel, which is your house, and part of your chakra system of your house. And I don't know which chakra system that your house is in, but I'm just going to use it as an example. Let's say it's housed in the area of your organs, and then you're wondering why your organs hurt. And then let's say if someone's trying to attack your speech, you're wondering why they are saying something about what you're saying, how you're saying it, what you're doing, how you looking. It's like that. And you gotta be aware of it to be able to be like, hey, don't say that shit around me. Oh, I see what you're trying to put in my head. No. I ain't letting you do that. You know. Or I understand it's you hurting my body. And yeah, I'm good on the friendship. Let me rebuke this. Let me send this back. Let me switch and turn all this around. Because when I say to people, I never like done anything to anybody like, ooh, bitch, I don't like you and I'm ready to fuck you up. You was like you had to do something to me in order for me to get like that. And it's one of those things where instead of people wanting to confront you physically, they decide they're going to do the spiritual thing to you. But they need some part of your physical vessel to be harmed in order for it to stick, to keep you in a low vibration so they can attach a demon of some kind to you. And the key is you don't want anything attached to you. So you have to understand like all the trickery, the fuckery, the bullshit, because God can tell it, okay? And they don't give a damn about your mouth. They prefer you to use that than to actually kill a motherfucker. You see? Because one is more lethal than the other one, and it's the mouth. I've been on here for a very long time, over 50 minutes, So I'm gonna get off of here. Plus, I'm getting sleepy now. But I did just want to touch on a few things and kind of put some of the stuff on the live in it since it didn't stay on my feed. And it feels kind of rushed, but I just wanted to make sure I did it. All right, people. Love you. Holla at you later. Peace. All that good stuff. And a bottle of hair grease.